Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Murphy here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing in the art room for kindergarten right now. So together we read this book called The Dot, and this is by Peter Reynolds, and it's a great little story about a little artist that is learning that she can make art any way that she can, and that even just a simple dot can be a beautiful piece of artwork. The students in class, we listened to this story, and Miss Duval has a copy of that, so she will share that with you so that you can listen to the story and then create the artwork that we made. So after we watched the book, we went on to create our own beautiful dots. So we started on a square piece of paper. So you're going to need one square piece of paper with a circle drawn on it. This is the way ours looked. It has a nice circle traced on there, and you can use anything at all to create that circle. You could draw it freehand, have a grown-up draw it for you, find something circular to lay on the paper and trace. Anything you want to do to get that circle on the paper. And our paper started out with a dot sticker. Now, if you don't have a dot sticker on there, that's okay. You can start by putting some marker in that spot. And we'll talk about that once we get started. So besides a piece of paper, you're also going to need a pencil, some colored markers like this, some Crayola markers. You want them to be washable. So they don't really have to be Crayola, but they do have to be washable for this process. The kiddos in my classroom used paint. So I'm going to show you how you guys can use your markers and make it into paint. So gather up some colors that you like. Get your paper ready to go with a circle on the square paper. And get yourself a paintbrush and a little cup of water. And maybe a paper towel just in case it gets a little drippy. Now the first thing we talked about is that we wanted to create those lines around our sticker dot with our paintbrush. So for us, we're just going to pick whichever color marker we want to start with, and we're going to lay down a little bit of color around that dot. Now you can leave some space in between to leave a little bit of white space. You can color right up against that dot. That's up to you. If you don't have dot stickers, you can just color in your very first circle right in the middle of the big circle with marker, and that's fine too. So you want to keep changing your colors and keep circling around. You want them to be as colorful as you can get them. And again, they don't have to touch each other, because when we wake these markers up with water, the colors are going to spread around and they're going to move. So they'll fill in those white spaces. I'm going to keep going with my colors and work my way all the way around. Keep laying in circles, changing your color every time until you get to that traced pencil edge, and then stop there. Okay. I've laid all of my circles in there. Now I've left some spaces in between mine, but you can do it like this so that they're really close together and there's no white space in between. That's up to you. So now the next step, we're all done with the marker part. Now we want to take our paintbrush and we want to dip it into the water just a little bit. You don't need much. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tickle these colors awake. We're going to take our brush and we're going to move some of that color around. It wakes up the marker, and it makes it so that it's like paint. Can you guys see it starting to wake up? I'll do it on the table for a minute, and then I'll hold it up so you could see. But it turns those colors into paint. So if you just lay your brush with that water and run it across those colors, you're going to see that that marker will start to move around, because this is a washable marker. So it reacts with the water and basically turns itself into paint. I'm going to show you. I'm almost finished tickling my colors awake. So now that it's wet, it's moving that color into this white spaces that I've left. So now I've got color in the whole piece. See how we've got some movement there with the paint? It's really waking up. I'm going to do a little bit more to get my colors moving around. And I think I'm really happy with my colors there. So now we've got, it almost works like watercolor when you wake it up and move those colors around. So now we got to let our dots dry for a little while. But once it's dry, we're going to take a black marker. Now, if you just have a black Crayola marker, that's fine. I happen to have a black Sharpie pen here, and I'm going to use that. And you're going to go in and go color by color, ring by ring, if you think about it like the rings of a tree. And you're going to try to create a different type of line all the way around. So you see in my red stripe that goes around my circle, I've created a wavy line with my pen. And then my blue stripe, I've created what's called a castle line. And then here in my yellow, I've done a bump line, a line I would use to create scales on a fish. I've got a zigzag line, some more wavy lines, even a dotted broken line. So you guys can go ring by ring over top of that now dried paint, and you can create different lines that you know, so that when you're finished, you've got a beautiful dot. I hope you guys have fun with this and that you enjoy this story. You can find this story on YouTube. They've got recordings of it, but I did attach that link and shared it with Mrs. Duval, so you can click on that link on the bookcase in my unicorn slide with me riding the unicorn. You can click on the bookcase. You'll see this special book there for you guys to listen to the story of the dot, and then you can go ahead and watch this video that I'm making now, and you can create your own dot. And if you want to share them with me, you can email them to me or share them with Mrs. Duval, and she can share them with me. I hope you have fun. Bye.